Picture this. You have an amazing image for your digital magazine, but your reader misses the point entirely. Annoying, isn't it? I mean, look at my face. So what's the solution here? Well, that is to create image captions. Those tiny phrases are so crucial elements for your context, your readers, and your magazine success. So today I'll guide you step by step through 1, 2, 3 creative ways for crafting image captions inside Affinity Canva, complete with paragraph and character styles and custom bullet points for a professional magazine spread. Welcome back everyone to my channel. I am Elias Sarantopoulos. Up next. The first caption we're going to create is going to be the caption over image. I'll enable the preview mode. Looking inside my notes, this is going to be the corresponding text. So from a toolbar, I'll grab the frame text tool. And let's say from this space to this space here, I'm going to create a text frame and paste that. Okay, so with the text frame selected, the first I'm going to do is to create a custom paragraph style. So inside the text sales panel, at the very bottom, I'll click to create a new paragraph style. I'll give it a name of caption over image. That's the style name. I'll make sure that I reset any kind of formatting, so we start from the very beginning. For the font family of choice, I'm going to use Aptos. Regular the font style. The font size will be set to 14 points. For the paragraph spacing, the alignment will be set to the right side. We're going to have an exact lettering value of 16 points. And what is important is to disable anything that aligns to the existing baseline grids. And then I click OK. Okay, so we've got that. Let's continue this because I would like to have actually some breathing space for the entire paragraph so it's not glued, as you can see, to the edges. So for that, and looking inside the text frame and the insets, I'll make sure that I disable the link icon, set the left inset to 15 points, the right to 15 points, the top to 10 points, and the bottom also to 10 points. And now we've got the breathing space. Inside the layers panel, I'm going to lock this layer so I don't accidentally move it. And from the toolbar, I'll grab the rectangle tool and just create a rectangle shape here. I'll release that. And inside the layers panel, I will click and drag this under the text layer. So the plan here is actually to create multiple strokes for this rectangle shape. So under the window menu, vector, I'm going to bring up the appearance palette. With the rectangle shape selected and look inside the appearance panel, I will click and drag and bring the fill to the very bottom and start with the first stroke. So I'll click on the color stroke first. I'll set that to a yellow stroke of my choice. Click on the size, make sure this is 2, and the width of the stroke will be set to 15 points, and make sure the alignment stroke to the outside. So that is the first stroke. I'll right-click to duplicate the stroke, and first change the color of the stroke to white. Reduce the width of the stroke to 10 points. Still make sure that the alignment of the stroke is to the outside. And then I will right click to duplicate that one more time, set that to black, and change the stroke size, the stroke width to 5 points. I like what I see. Maybe I can just bring this in just a tad. And we've got the breathing space. Let's not forget, and looking at the rectangle shape, I make sure that I target the fill and reduce the opacity to 75% on my ends. So let's see how it looks. It looks great. Maybe I can just take this one more time and bring this in. Like so. The next caption is going to be a bottom caption right here for the statue of Kyros. All right, so I've got some notes here. This is going to be the corresponding text. And the caption is going to occupy 4 lines of text. So I'll go ahead and grab the frame text tool. And then I click and drag to create a text frame, release that, and paste the corresponding texts. All right, so let's go ahead and create another custom paragraph style by the name of bottom caption. So I'll click on the icon to create a new paragraph style. I'll give it a name of bottom caption and make sure that I first reset everything from the very beginning so I start fresh. For the font family, once again, I'm going to use Microsoft's Aptos. Font style set to regular. The font size set to 12 points. And looking inside the paragraph spacing, there's going to be no change for the alignment, but we're going to have an exact leading value set to 14 points. And once again, we're going to make sure that nothing gets aligned to the existing baseline grid. So I'll go ahead and disable that, and then I click OK. All right, so as I can see here is we have some leftovers looking at the spaces here coming from the previous paragraph style. So back on the text frames options, I will enable the chain icon for the insets and then zero everything out. What is important here is that we align the very last line of the paragraph to the last line of the baseline grid. So inside the text frames options, and for the vertical position, I'm going to set that to bottom alignment. So that way the text for the caption grows from the bottom as we typed into it. Let me go ahead and show you an example here. I'm just going to copy that, paste that, and increase the text frame. As you can see, the very last line is glued to the bottom of the baseline grid, and the rest is not. All right, so I'm going to undo that and continuing making things interesting for the existing paragraph style. And specifically, I'm going to target the very first words. So with nothing selected inside the text cells panel, right here on the very bottom, I'm going to create a new character style. I'll give it a name of black. And for the font family, I'm going to use, once again, Aptos. But what is important here is to change the font style to, at least on my end, I'm going to set that to black. As for the color, I'm going to use like an orangey color here. And then I click OK. All right, so in order for us to target just the very first word, that means we need to return back to the bottom caption here. And all the way at the very bottom, we're going to target the initial words. We're going to enable that. We're going to have only one word. That will be the very first word. And the style will be set to black, like so. And now we target the very first words. Let's see the overall result here. That looks good. I like what I see, so I'll go ahead and keep that. Another example of a caption is to use a custom bullet icon or a transparent image and a character style. Inside the layout in progress, I've got the corresponding text for the new caption, which is going to occupy 3 lines of text. So I'll go ahead and grab the frame text tool, create the frame, and then paste that in. All right, so let's go ahead and give another custom paragraph style to it using the name arrow caption. So with the text frame selected and inside the text styles panel, I'll click to create a new paragraph style. I'll give it a name of arrow caption. Once again, I'm going to make sure that I reset everything so I start fresh. For the font family of choice, I'm going to use Aptos. The font style is going to be set this time around to bold and the size to 10 points. Looking inside the paragraph spacing, there's going to be no change for the alignment, but we're going to have an exact leading value set to 11 points, and we're going to make sure that nothing gets aligned to the baseline grid. So then I click OK. Now I'm double checking my work inside the text frames options. Everything stays as is, even the vertical position set to the bottom alignment. That means we can continue and get more creative with the paragraph style. So I'll double click on that. And inside the bullets and numbering, we're going to have a bullet. For the texts, I'm going to remove what it gives me as a default, and then click right here to select a specific font. So for the font family of choice, I'm going to use the very popular Wingdings and the third one. Now, Wingdings is a unique font that consists entirely of symbols and icons instead of standard alphanumeric characters, and it's used to create custom bullet lists. So in this case, I'm going to use this down arrow glyph. I'll double click on it, and here is the down arrow, basically the caption indicating that belongs to the photo below. All right, so I like that. I'm just going to click OK. Now with nothing selected, I create a new character style. I'll give it a name of color. And for the color of the font, I'm going to use a blue color. Maybe something along those lines. I'm going to click OK. And to apply this to the bullet, back on the arrow caption here, and for the bullets and numbering and the style, I'm going to click on the drop-down menu and then choose color. Here it is. That looks great. What doesn't look good is the spacing. Basically, the arrow needs to have separation to the left axis of the paragraph, and they have a nice breathing space in between. And we can do that inside the paragraph spacing with the left indent set to 20 points, but automatically that gives me also 20 points to the first line indent. So in this case, we're going to zero this out. Then we've got the separation here, back on the bullets and numbering, and here for the texts, just going to click once and then press the space bar, and we got the separation. All right, so that looks good, but we do have another choice. We can actually replace this font with a custom icon. So back on the bullets and numbering, I remove that by pressing the backspace twice, and then click on this icon right here to select an image file to make a custom bullet. inside my photos here, I've got a down arrow PNG. Here it is. All I have to do is just press the space bar on the keyboard to create the separation. Let's see the end results. I like what I see, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. So here are 3 creative ways how to create captions for your digital magazine.